All right, here's my currently reading section. This is just above my desk. I think the last time I did a video, I didn't have this shelving unit here. You can see, I mentioned before that Joe Madureira poster. I've got a Elden Ring pin there, and that's Karlach from Baldur's Gate. The poster is like literally the same dimensions as like this space on the shelf. So that's really nice. I've got some Funkos. That's Karlach. She's my favorite character from Baldur's Gate 3. That's the wolf from Sekiro. That's from the Dark Souls series. And Donatello's always been my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Just go through, like I'm showing this anyway, so I may as well explain what's here. I've got a couple Perplexus ball maze puzzles. This is a boss minifigure from a board game my brother got me called Oathsworn, which is supposed to be like one of the top rated board games of all time. I've played a little bit of it, but it's very intense. It's a big commitment, like a time commitment. Here's a little retro handheld that I spent like 100 hours customizing, and I made a couple for my brothers as well. This is this Mehrunes Dagon from Elder Scrolls. This is the statue from the Elder Scrolls Online Collector's Edition, the base game, like a decade ago. These are my PlayStation 5 games. Here I've got some Souls guides, Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, and 2 Elden Ring books. There's actually a 3rd Elden Ring book that I didn't get. And then, yeah, okay, so let's get into the books. So I've got some, looks like these are all kind of like art book-ish at the top. Ultimate Lego Star Wars. I think I've done videos for all of these. So this is one of those kind of DK visual dictionary books. It's just got like every single, up until this point, because there's been so many since, Lego Star Wars builds, kind of sorted by like types. So these are like all vehicles, and then starships, minifigures and stuff, yeah. And it like dates them, and there's like a index where you can like look up characters, and it's like every single Rey figure ever made, or like, all this stuff. That's really cool. That was a gift from, I think, my mother-in-law. I think this was also from her. This is, again, DK Visual Dictionary of Dungeons & Dragons, kind of based around the Driz character. I actually just picked this up to continue reading the other day, because I've never read the whole thing. I'm a noob to Dungeons & Dragons. I've only ever played once, and I guess my biggest exposure is playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is, I think, one of my favorite games of all time. Art of Sam Yang. We talked about this in the update video recently. Great stuff, local Toronto artist here. This is Nima, the art of Ross Tran, also known as Ross Draws Online. There's a bit of controversy around him that actually Sam does art, Sam Yang, kind of had to address, because people confused him for Ross Draws. It was kind of, anyway. But apparently Ross Draws used some AI, and it may have even been a part of this book. And I guess the controversy was that he didn't disclose that he had used AI for some of his stuff. And so obviously in like the art world in which I'm a part, like concept art, comic art, that kind of stuff, AI is a big no-no. It's very, very much frowned upon, because it's basically just plagiarizing other artists. And Mike Mignola is a good example of that, because there are people who are creating AI images that mimic his art, and then they're trying to sell them off as like original art for like hundreds of dollars. And it's just like, even when you create AI art and you're not making money off of it, it's just, if the original artist does not want their art to be plagiarized in this way, it should be like, they should have the right to like hold the full rights of their work, right? I didn't mean to get too deep into this, but it's hard to avoid. And it just kind of came up because that was something that these two artists had to address recently, because it's such a no-no in this art world. So here's this is the latest Mike Mignola, and yeah, also because I came up with Mike Mignola work recently as well. Not so much an art book, but the Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook. This is the latest one. I think this was just released actually this year or late last year. So I mostly kind of got this for the really good artwork, but also kind of just as like casual reading to kind of learn more about the Dungeons and Dragons world, because I have a lot more interest in it now after having played Baldur's Gate. Let's move that out of the way. So this here is my currently reading. I mentioned Casanova. I guess I already went through the other books, so no need to open that. Yeah, so I mean to like start from the beginning and read all 3 volumes, but I haven't done that yet. These are the Kent Williams Havoc and Wolverine books. What was that other book that I opened then? That seemed to be one of them, but I thought there were only 4. Do I have a duplicate of one? So that's kind of what we're looking at. Really cool, like realistic painting depictions of those guys. So I haven't read that yet. I've had this for like probably 10 years, and I haven't read them, and I feel like I would have by now easily if I had this as a trade paperback, which does exist now, but it also feels a little silly to buy it again when I already own it. So part of the barrier is just having them in these bags. So I think that's why I took this one out, so that it's easy to just like, okay, I'm going to read it, I'm going to grab it and read it. I don't have to like take it out, worry about putting it back in the case after or anything. Here's Simone Grunwald. I don't know if it's pronounced Grunwald or Grunwald. I took German in high school, so to me, I would pronounce that W as a V, but could be wrong. I don't actually know offhand where she's from, so. Like I mentioned in the update video, this is kind of a lot more of an instructional book than I had understood it to be. A lot less kind of art book and more of a how I draw and how you can draw like me kind of deal. Here's Two Brothers by Fabio Moon Gabriel Ba. I think it's all drawn by Gabriel, which is okay by me because that's the brother I'm more a fan of. Here's Miss Marvel by Carlos Gomez. It's hard to turn when I don't have like something to rest the book on. And this is, like I mentioned, this is the volume that was written by Iman Vellani, who plays Miss Marvel in the MCU. Not a big fan of the depiction of her. Like, the show, it was okay. I like the character. I think the actor is awesome. I think she's really fun. I think she's great in interviews and stuff. But I don't like how they like dumbed down her powers and how she just has like this crystal crap. And because like in the comics, she's like stretchy like Mr. Fantastic, and that's kind of her primary power, right? I mean, I haven't read too much Miss Marvel, but I have like those 4 volumes by Adrian Alfona. Yeah, I mean, I understand that it'd be hard to CG that, especially in a TV show, but I wasn't a fan of the way they implemented her in the MCU. Here's Ultra Mega Volume 2. Again, haven't read this yet. Yeah, I guess I haven't read. Some of these I've started. Some of these on this shelf I've started, but haven't read them. Actually, Bug Wars I have finished, and loved the art, loved the plot, the actual script, the writing. Really bad in my opinion, unfortunately. And then the Marquis. This is by Guy Davis, not usually a fan of his. I have read this before, but this was kind of here because I want to reread it. Because I remember really, really liking this, even though I'm not a fan of Guy Davis. And I misunderstood. I thought there was a sequel to this, but what the actual, so I was looking for it for ages, but it actually is that this is a collection of the 2 volumes that there was. So this is everything. And so I was like on this wild goose chase trying to find a volume that didn't exist. So that wasn't very clear to me. Oops, did I put that like kind of into another book. All right, here's the Oglaf Volume 4 that I mentioned. I guess I can't really show that. Some Canadian money. Yeah, because that's a erotic webcomic, so I don't want to show too much of that. Here's the latest 2 Empowered volumes that I haven't read yet. So this is like a superhero comedy / I guess there's a bit of romance. Oops, I had this bookmark, but now I lost my spot. I don't know where I was. Okay. Yeah, really funny. There's this one character that speaks like entirely in alliteration, and he tries to Adam Warren tries to one-up himself by like seeing the longest chain he can do of like alliteration. I think he gets up to like 20 words in a row or something. Like I don't know, really funny. Yeah, there's some really touching moments in this too. Funny characters just based like with stupid superpowers like this. There's this one superhero called Cinder Block, and he's literally just a guy with cinder blocks for a head and for hands. Here's Ghost in the Shell 2. This is a book I've had for a long time, but I wanted to reread it because we recently watched Standalone Complex for the first time, and I was surprised by how good it was. Like, it was really, really good. These are actually my own sketchbooks that nobody needs to see. It's just maybe one day when I'm more happy with my body of work, I'll show some stuff. But I'm pretty amateur level. Here's Dever Gelder, Volume 1, which I've read. I've read the first 2 volumes, but then I got the 3rd volume, and it had been so long that I want to reread 1 and 2 before I get back into 3. So there's that, and then we're going to jump over to another spot. All right, here's my kind of oversized Ashley Wood collection and some other oversized books as well. Starting off here, we've got the 2 Arc Athena, oh my god, they're so big, Arc Athena artist editions. So I've shown these before, but let's just, it's hard to hold. It's not heavy, but it's really big and unwieldy. Wow, it's so cool to see it in like this scale though. That's crazy. Wow. Eric Kennedy is so good. Okay, so there's those. Let me carefully put them back. There's no easy way for me to like store these without them like getting damaged or warped. Like the kind of, you can see the kind of, even just a little bit, the pages spread out a bit. We've got a couple Kent Williams books here. This is, what is this one? Not Strangers? Not Strangers. I feel like yeah, no, that's what it's called. All right. A lot of drawings of soy milk. I don't know if they still are, but they were together, is what I gleaned from like social media posts. So he does a lot of paintings of her. She's another really talented artist with a very similar style, actually. Although I think hers is a bit more refined and his is a little looser. In fact, that looks like soy milk on the cover there. This one is called Via Lactea. I was asking her for a while to release a book, an art book, because she hadn't. And then she finally did, but it was way too expensive. I think, did she do a crowdfunding, a Kickstarter or something? So that's actually on my Christmas wish list. So if anyone wants to buy that from me, these look like these are soy milk. Those are all soy milk. Yeah, lots of paintings of soy. I don't know her real name. I'm assuming that's a pseudonym. Let's see. Okay. Fuck it, Omnipus. Oh my god. Oh, this is so heavy. I don't know how I'm gonna, because I'm holding it like above my head basically here. Just get a quick glimpse into this. Most of his books have repeat art from previous art books. It's kind of sucks, especially for someone who like if you're just collecting one book of his, that's awesome. Like you get to see stuff you wouldn't have been able to see before, because his back catalog of art books is really hard to come by and really expensive. But if you collect everything, like I have for many years, it's just like you have like this many books, but unique art pieces in this many books is like maybe half of that. It's really weird. It's a weird practice. Fat Kunstler. So you have a lot of like marker line drawings. Looked like some digital colors in there, like some flats, some what do you call screen tones? Like the little dots. I don't need to go too deep into these because I do have videos of them on my channel. This one is what is it called? Sabbath Black or Machine Sabbath. It's a lot more like, oops, dropped something. A lot more like oil paint stuff in there. Actually, the thing that fell was like a little postcard, Machine Sabbath themed. Oops, I'll pick that up after. Here are the 2 volumes of World War Robot. So again, oil paints. Here's the other volume. Here's is this the longest, like the series of his with the most books? The Ashleywood Library, 4 books. Maybe tied for the Sensilla Grand series, although that might have only been 3. So this is volume 1. So there's oil paintings. Oh, actually, I thought I saw one of his paintings I have is like the background for all of my devices, like my laptop, both my laptops, my phone, both my iPads. I thought I saw it, but maybe not. It was just like it's his Lastronaut, Lastronaut character. So yeah, looks like these are all oils. And then I can't remember if that's the case for all 4 volumes, if they're all just oil paints. But since I just looked through one, I'll just show you the covers for the rest. Again, I've got videos going into all these. Oh, nice. Got some line work on that one. So I guess maybe they aren't all exclusively oil paint. 96 nudes. So we got oil, we got line art. Is that digital? Hard to tell looking through the camera. I guess some of his stuff's pretty explicit too, so. I have had some of my art book videos on YouTube be taken down. And on some occasions they've been taken down and then I've like, how do you say, I've like, what's the word, like combated the decision, and then I've had them reinstated because I was like, hey, this is like, some of them, sure, they're sexually explicit. Some of them, when it's just nudity, it's art, right? So with that argument, I was able to have some videos reinstated, but not all of them. What's this? Tres Torinos. This is Dos and Tre Torino. Got some oils. Is this all oils? And then some line work. Not much digital in these books that I happen to be looking through. Maybe he does less digitally these days, because these are mostly his more recent books, I think, right? Art of Tomorrow Kings. That's one of his many toy lines, I want to say. Some line work, screen tones. Yeah, I'm not seeing any digital stuff. Maybe some digital colors there, like just the flat tones. Lots of oil paintings. Yeah, like there was a time when he was doing a ton of digital stuff, like especially his work on Metal Gear Solid. He did the 2 comics that were just exclusively digital, and then the art book as well. This is, oh gosh, something fell there. Oh, Arc Athena collector cards, nice. Remind me what this is. So that's the name of the chapter. What's the name of the book? Is there no way to tell? Oh, here. 717 by Jeremy Geddes, right. This is crazy stuff. I would love to see like an exhibition of this in person. To see like he does this, and then he has to like go into like a close-up shot to show you just all the detail. It's ridiculous. Like taking something so mundane as like a building or like an astronaut and kind of making it fantastical with these like explosions and stuff and gravity-defying scenes and everything. What's this? Oh, this is Mahmoud Asrar's Ektung art book. Pretty big scale sketchbook. Commissions? I think this is all commission work. Yeah, it doesn't even stand up straight, it's so tall. And then the last 2 books here. Ashley Wood Black, extra large. I have to really zoom out on that one. Oh, it's pretty heavy too. Okay, I have a video of this, so I'll just do a quick flip. And then, what's this one? Is this more Ashley Wood? This is Adventure Cartel. Yeah, so there's a comic that integrates like the oil painting and like comic line art stuff, and still not seeing much, if any, digital though. All right, here's just a small collection of like overflow books that I've received recently. I think these were all in the recent update video, but that I don't have like anywhere on my bookshelves to put. So, and actually I looked through all these, so because it's kind of redundant to flip through them again, but this is Arc Athena. That's books 4, 5, 6. There. We got Bird King Volume 2, which we looked at the first volume on the bookshelf. So so all of these I've read. I just don't have anywhere to put them. Oops, did I want to push them that far back? Here's the King Conan, the 3rd volume. I don't know if there's going to be more. And I mentioned he did some cool like watercolor spreads, pinups. Yeah, like that one there. Is there like one per chapter or something? There's one series of pages where there's like 3 or 4 in a row or something. Really, really impressive stuff. Here's Batman vs. Robin by Mohamed Asrar. That must be like 6 issues or something. It's really thick. Here's that J. Scott Campbell art book. Sketchbook, I guess. Mostly sketches. Spawn, Unwanted Violence by Mike Del Mundo. What's this? Oh, this is the Carlos Gomez Rogue and Gambit. I like literally just mentioned that one. Really tight pencils. But a lot of his characters kind of look the same too. Like if he has like 3 female characters in one panel, it's hard to tell, like aside from the haircut and outfit, which is which, because he's got the kind of same face syndrome where his characters don't look super unique. This is Adam Ellis's Let Me In Your Window. And then Bad Dreams in the Night. Really good horror comics from Adam Tots. Crimson Fall by Derek Loafman. It's got some art by other artists in the back here too. Cool. Right, here's that other Jen Wang book. I don't know if it's pronounced Jen Wang or Jen Wong. My instinct is to say Jen Wong, but Ash's Cabin. Actually, look, flipping through the other books, the style kind of harkens back a bit more to Coco Be Good, like her first book, like with the kind of pastel muted watercolors as opposed to like the brilliant digital colors of like In Real Life, or what were the other books? Yeah, The Princess and the Dressmaker. Yeah, so that's cool. That must have taken a lot more time for her to traditionally color. And then here's that Hayao Miyazaki Shuna's Journey. If you go watch the video I made of this, like exclusively just for this book, not like a collection update or anything, I put it to print one of the songs from the Princess Mononoke movie, and I think that goes really well if you kind of watch the video and listen to the music together. I was happy that worked, and that I didn't get like a copyright strike on YouTube by using that music. Here are my wife's art books. I think almost all of these I bought for her for like Christmas and birthdays. Mostly like movie and video game art books. The Electric State, which we watched the movie and wait, is this the book it was based on? Oh, this isn't an art book. This is literally just like the novel, like the book. And then the movie was based on this? I think so, something like that. The movie was kind of not... I think my wife especially was disappointed that it wasn't nearly as good as the book, which is, I mean, often the case. But there's Blade Runner 2049. She's a big fan of, like, those big futuristic, like, vertical cities, like Fifth Element. Was that designed by Mobius, Fifth Element? And then, yeah, like Blade Runner, Cyberpunk, that kind of stuff. Her favorite artist is called Imperial Boy, I think, online. But I tried to find an art book of his, and I don't think it exists, but he does like a lot of kind of futuristic cityscapes. Dune. This is the Denis Villeneuve movie specifically. So I guess the concept art for that. I'm pretty excited for, I think his next movie is it him or is it Chris Nolan? Maybe I'm confusing them, but is he doing The Odyssey? Maybe that's Chris Nolan. Christopher Nolan. The Art of Horizon Forbidden West. So actually funny, I bought her this art book and she bought me the game, I think. I've only played a little bit of the game, but I did play, I played the first game, Horizon Zero Dawn. And yeah, like the designs and art and the world are so good The acting in these games is terrible. It's unbearable. But the gameplay is good. The worlds are really good. Oh, something's falling out. Okay, careful. These aren't even my books. Don't want to damage them. Okay. The art of Muna Shichi. I don't think I bought this one for her. That's the kind of art that my wife's into, like cityscapes in particular. So the art of Valerian. I think neither of us liked this movie. We really wanted to. Who's the director of this one? I don't remember. Is this the same director as Fifth Element? What's this? Komarebi? Jamilanov? I think I bought this for her. I think I follow her on Instagram as well. She does really good, like, chill art and like scenes from rural Japan, kind of stuff like that. The art of Arcane, which is like one of the prettiest animated things in existence. If you haven't seen it, you really should. Everything about it is, damn it, something fell out. Everything about it is just like flawless. Oh crap, more stuff's falling out. Okay, nothing's damaged, don't worry. Just some insert poster things. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Actually, because this is supposed to be a trilogy, I wonder when the third movie's supposed to come out. Haven't heard anything about that. Again, one of the best looking things in animation ever. So many movies try to copy this style now. Movies and TV shows. Star Trek Beyond. These were good movies. These rebooted Star Trek movies. I haven't done full videos of these, and I probably won't because they're not really as much my style. Although I did do Arcane and Across the Spider-Verse just because those very much are, even though they're not like comic art, like my usual stuff. What's this? Is this an art book? Oh, I've never even looked at this one. I don't think that's even an art book, so I'm going to skip that one. Lorena Alvarez, her art is so cute. Really love this. And then there's another here, so that was Hikoti, and this is Nightlights. And then just some random stuff. And then this is my kind of to weed if I need to collection. This kind of books that I kind of like, but if it comes to it, not enough to compete with my primary favorite artists or the ones that I follow. So Infinite Kung Fu, this is actually by a friend of a friend, Kagan MacLeod. I haven't actually read this in full. And ironically, I haven't had that signed, even though I kind of know the artist. Not really, but Fun Home is one that I studied in school, and it's quite good, although I haven't read it since. This is just a second copy of Nurjan Bakeliev's art book, which is amazing. So not sure what to do with that. My wife really likes the art too, and I offered it to her, but she can just read my copy. So this is still shrink wrapped. maybe like in the future I'll do like some giveaway or something, I don't know. There's another book I have a shrink-wrapped duplicate of also, so. Vinland Saga, my mom bought me this when she visited Norway. And I actually haven't read this. I think this is about Eric the Red. Or something, maybe? I may have just pulled that out of my ass. Here's a volume of My Hero Academia, which is my wife's. She's actually got a number of manga. Yeah, sure, actually, so these are her mangas. I've never read them. Me and My Brothers, Happy Cafe, Children of the Sea, One Piece. I think One Piece might be her favorite. And then she's also got Honey and Clover, she really likes, and Strawberry and Marshmallow. very, very like cutesy mangas. Okay, so let's get this out of the way because there's some stuff behind there. Where do I put these? Just a sec. Okay. All right, so you got, here's just a photo, like a nude model photo book that I use for reference. This is the very first present my wife gave me, The Art of Uncharted. These are those two Cyber 6 books by Carlos Meglia that I mentioned. I've just got 2 random volumes because I knew I wouldn't be able to read them. So talented, so unique. Love his work so much. And then, yeah, here's that other volume. Here's a Foxtrot volume. Used to be a big fan of that too, in addition to Calvin and Hobbes. Here's the other comics. So we looked at Northlanders. And there was a volume with art by Ryan Kelly. And this is that other book that I remembered, Local. It's also by him. This is that artist that I mentioned was a graduate of Minneapolis College of Art and Design. So when I was in high school, I would like request the alumni art catalogs from all my favorite like universities that had like comic courses, all my like dream universities. And this one had like a really well-designed one, and I got like 3 of them over the years. Like each year they had a different catalog, and Ryan Kelly was kind of always one of the alumni that they highlighted. Here's Jim Henson's The Storyteller Ghosts, and I got this one, I've mentioned this before, for the Mark Laszlo art. He's a very like Mike Vignola-esque artist, and he's actually done some Hellboy stories, I think, some short stories. And then there's just a whole bunch of other random stuff in there. We've got a couple of Tim Sale books. Dark Victory, I haven't read these in ages. Classics. And The Long Hill Halloween. We've got 3 volumes of this Lotus War manga. I just randomly picked up in the local comic shop, like, I want to say like 3 decades ago. Maybe not 3 decades ago, I'm not that old. I still kind of really like the style. I should reread these. I have no recollection of what happens in them, except that at the time, I really liked to copy the way that the artist drew, like the armor. Here's just the original Watchmen. I mean, not the original edition, but like just Watchmen, not the, you know, the, they've continued the story in like other medium. And what's it called? There's that Adam Hughes volume I have is it called After Watchmen or something maybe? Anyway, that's the original. I studied it in school. That's what all the bookmarks are for. But I don't think, I've maybe read it a second time since then, but not a huge fan of the art. Yeah, I like the movie. Though I like the comic. It's really good, especially like the, how do you say, like there's like two storylines that are happening simultaneously that can only really be done in the comic. That was one thing that they fell short of in the movie, was that it just wasn't something that could be depicted in movie format as comic format, where it's like on the page at the same time. Like if you could have done that in a movie, but then it'd be hard to pay attention to two, like with dialogue and everything at the same time, right? So, yeah. I used to be a big fan of Jeff Matsuda. So this is his creator-owned, called Kaboom. I think I used to subscribe to the serialization. Here's a Phil Noto book, Black Widow. Used to be a bigger fan of his than I am now. I feel like his action scenes are a little kind of, how do you say, like stiff. Like he does a lot of kind of like straight on views, not a lot of dynamic angles or anything. So I really like his style, and especially the color. I don't know if he does the colors himself or if he has a colorist he always works with, but yeah. This is Bill Sienkiewicz's Elektra. I don't know if I've actually, yeah, that must be my bookmark. I don't think I've ever actually read this in full, but it's really, really beautiful. And finally, here's the first compendium volume of Invincible, which again, here's my bookmarks. So I really like the Amazon show, and I love his art. Crap, what's his name again? The artist? I don't know. I follow him on Instagram. I really love his art, but especially his early stuff is not as appealing to me. And the story, as much as like somehow they made it really, I guess they really tightened it up in the show. Like they covered so much ground in so few episodes that it was a lot more action-packed, a lot less downtime, which is, I think, one of my complaints about the comic maybe, is that it's like this thick thing, and there's a lot of times where they're just kind of like talking, which is fine, but I felt it a little not that exciting. Anyway, yeah, that's the whole collection as it stands right now. And like I said, I've got some books on the way, but that's it. Yeah, let me know if there are any books that you saw that you maybe want me to go more into depth in, and yeah, I might be able to do that, whether comic or art book. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.